Hello everybody. In this video, I'm going to show you how to program each of the pods. So the first thing I want to do is, if you check the variable, if you see the piece clicked is white 1 all the way to white 6, white 8, and black 1 to black 8, then we might as well do the pods. So the first thing I want to do is the guide. So let's say when the guide, when green flag clicks forever. Now what I want to do is to create a guide in front of each clone of the pawn. So forever, if piece clicks equals to, we'll just do white 1 first, the first pawn white. So if piece click equals to white 1, what I want to do is go to, we want it to go, this guide to go to the white position. So to do that, we need to go to the chess piece and create a variable called current x and another variable called current y. And in here, we're going to do when green flag clicks forever, if, and we'll do the same thing right there, piece clicked equals to white 1. Then we want to set the current x position to, and the current y position to its original x position and its y position. So you see when you click the green flag, you can see the current x and current y position changed. Now if you go to the guide, we want it to go to the current x and current y. In the chess here, you can see that the guide is going this position because that's where the chess piece is, not the current ID. So you want to check if also the current, if my ID equals to white 1 and the piece click. Okay, as you can see here, it's not working. It's because we added as when I click its green flag. So you had to change this to when I start as a clone. So when I start as a clone, it should give this position and the guide should be here. Let me just show and go to front layer. There you go. You can see the guide over here right now. So now what I want to do is I want to create two clones of the guide, one up here and another up here. So to do that, I want to change my Y position. So go to this position, change Y by, and change by the chessboard size we put was 45. So change it by 45, going upwards by 45. And then I want to create a clone of myself. And then I'll repeat this twice. But when we just started, everyone knows the white chess piece, they can move twice 2 steps on the first go. And then afterwards, they only can move 1 step. So what I can do is create a new variable called has moved and check if, put an if else statement, if has moved equal to yes. if you have already moved 2 steps, we only want it to move 1 step. Whereas if we have not moved 2 steps, we can do it twice. And we will make it hide once it's done. Okay. Okay, now you can see it's constantly creating clones. So what you can do is over here use once has moved is yes. And once have moved, okay, we change it to has moved to no. If you have not moved 2 steps, you set it to this. And then once it's no, you set has moved back to yes. Else it stays no. And over here we put have moved equals to no. Okay, so once you've done this, once piece click equals to white, you set the piece clicked to unselect. There you go. So you can see piece clicks currently. Okay, so once this is done, you can see that when you click the green flag, you click the pawn, you can see it's creating many clones. So this is because piece click is still white, so it creates continuously creates clone. So what you can do is add a wait block, and you're gonna wait if you can create a new variable called move, and if move equals yes. So we wait until moved equals to yes. So as you can see, once you click now, it shows, but you can see it's only one because has moves starts with no. Okay, and you can see there's two, but there's one just now because this hide block was inside the repeat. So now you can see they have these pieces. And once it's being clicked, once you click on this guide, we want this chess piece to move there, right? So we create two new variables called move x and move y. So then once it's being clicked, so we wait until moved equals yes, or we wait until if mouse down and touching mouse pointer. So we know that the person is clicking the guide, then we'll set wait. Okay, for this one we gotta put it in the clone. Okay, so we add a when I start as a clone forever if mouse down and touching mouse pointer will set the move X and move Y to its current X position and Y position. And then we can also set move to yes. And so on. Now we go to the guide. If piece click, if my ID is one with settings. Now we want the chess piece to move there, right? So to make it move there, we can if moved equals to yes. We can wait until moved equals to no. And up here we can make the chess piece glide about 0.2 seconds to move X and move Y. So if you see here, okay, it automatically goes up there. There should be something wrong with the guide. Okay, and then over here in the guide, I want to put once moved as yes. We're going to delete the clone, so we'll set if moved equals to yes. I want to delete the remaining clones, as let's say you click this one, and then we're going to delete both of them as well. So we'll, if moved equals yes, we'll set moved equals to no, and then we'll delete the clones. Okay, so if you click on the green flag, and you click on the spawn page, you can see two pieces coming up. But once you click on them, they disappear, and now you can only walk one. Okay, now as you can see, we'll set move. If in the chess we'll put if moved equals yes, we'll set it back to no, and we'll glide it to that position. So you can see here. Click on this, and as you can see, it does not glide as once you click on the piece, you can see piece click is unselected. Once you click on the piece, it's white one. But once you click on the glide, it changes to black 9. Black 9 is the background. So what you can do is we want it to put over here. If piece click equals to white, we'll put it out inside the loop. Wait, no, we'll not put it. We'll delete this if piece clicks is white, as we just need to know that my ID is white. So as you can see here, if you click on this piece, it goes up, and then you only can move one step upwards. Now as you can see, if you click on this piece and you click the second one, this one does not disappear. So why is that? So let's see here, moved. If you click on it and you move, you can see it changes to yes, then it changes back to no. And when I start clone, if moved equals to yes, we'll delete this clone. So to remove it, strangely, move equals to yes, delete this clone, but it does not delete it. Over here with mouse down, you also can put a delete this clone. Maybe this shall work. No. Now in the chess piece, if you see this problem appears and it does not delete the clone, what you can do, maybe you can create a new variable called delete clones, and we'll set the delete clone to positive. We'll set it to 1. We can choose to set it to yes. When it starts a green flag, set delete clones to 0, negative, and we'll check if delete clones equals to positive. We'll delete this clone. So you can see the clones are deleted, and we'll set delete clone back to 0. As you can see, this is currently working. Okay, so over here, you can see I want to change that when, let's say you put the pieces here, when there's a black pawn up here, it cannot move forward. To do that, you can check. You can put the guide if in here, if before creating the clone, you put if touching, if it's not touching the color black, then we'll create a clone, else we'll leave the clone here. We can do the same thing to the it has moved here. Okay. And now if you try again, this should work. Let me hide my variable. If you check, you can see if you click on this pawn, nothing happens. Now we want the pawn to be able to kill the pawn. And to do that, you can go to the guide, and we can check if there's an object here at the left or the right. So if piece click over here, we can put if, put an if else statement. If, and we're gonna check this piece up there. So what I can do is we'll change the X position by 45 to the right, and it would go up again, change the Y position by 45, and we're gonna check if it's touching the color black. So you know that there's a black pawn piece over there. So if it's touching the color black, we're gonna create a clone of myself. Else, we do nothing. Else we change it back to the position, so we'll have to change these two by negative 45 back to its original position. There you go. And we'll put these two codes in here. And also, we're going to check on the left hand side and do change X by negative 45. We'll do the same thing here. Okay. So as you can see, everything right now is still the same. But if you can see this piece of here, we can kill it. but there's an error, which is this. Let me just check. What we can do is actually over here. Over here we can not put this else, we just put an if. And then we'll change the X position. We're going to delete this block, change the X position by -90. And if it's touching color again, we'll change this to if statement. If it's touching color, then we'll create a clone, else we do nothing. And then we'll go back to the original position. Again, duplicate this and put it here. Okay, so now as you can see, you click here, we have the option to kill this, and we can kill these two. And now to delete this clone, so in the chest here, when I start as a clone, you can put in the forever loop if, put an if statement, if else statement, and we'll check if my ID equals to, we're gonna check if it's a black piece. If you're gonna check the black piece, we're gonna go and check the first letter of the ID is start with B, so it's a black. And then and put an AND block, and we're gonna check if it's touching the color white. Then we can delete the clone. And now we can do the same thing for the white. So we duplicate this. First letter is white, W, and touching the color black. Okay. So you can see here. Okay, so that's it for this video where we've successfully created the white chess piece to move in all the directions and be able to kill. Thank you for this video, and in the next video I'm gonna show you how to code the rook to be able to move and kill as well.